First thing I'd like to do today is to recap a moment from my Five Nights at Freddy's 2 video. See you guys all for the third game in February! This game came out on March 2nd. Fuck. Over the last 6 months, Five Nights at Freddy's has taken the internet by storm, blah 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 blah, huge success. The third game is here! Possibly one of the most anticipated games in the last 2 months, a game surrounded in mystery, expected to answer all of our burning questions, finally got its release, and my god, does it not disappoint. Even if the plot sounds like a bad horror story. 30 years after the closing of Freddy Fazbear establishments, the horrific incidents that occurred there have become nothing more than tired old ghost stories. But now someone has decided to awaken the ghosts of the past by creating Fazbear's Fright, a haunted house where people can relive the events that took place 30 years ago, with much more realism than they ever expected. Ha 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 ha. No, but really, this game is scary. Once again, you play the role of the security guard watching over the totally not terrifying Fazbear-themed facility, defending yourself from midnight to 6 a.m. against one animatronic. Hold on. Let's see this. The fuck? Indeed, you only need to protect yourself from one murderous robot this time around, but it doesn't mean that the odds are in your favor. You'll also need to strategize around multi-layered maps, rebooting crash systems. Why is it that in these facilities nothing works as well as it should? And there's another surprise I'll address a little later. That's later, but for now, let's complete the trifecta and learn how to play some Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Actually excited this time. Alright, here's the thing. Five Nights 1 could be boiled down to a simple science. Five Nights 2 could also, but it was a bit more complicated. Five Nights 3 once again has an easy formula, except it's much more variable. Unlike the last two games, this one isn't about waiting for the monsters to come to you and stopping them. It's more of a tug-of-war with the game's one and only nightmarish antagonist, and he's a dirty fucking cheater. The key to having an advantage in this game is the map. But Lennon, this map looks so complicated. Alright, yeah, it does look so complicated that you'd expect the villain to be a minotaur, but that's okay. What matters is that the map is divided into rooms, and Springtrap, this Springtrap by the way, can't jump around the map all willy-nilly like the animatronics in 1 and 2. He follows a moderately set path from the start of the building to you, so we can simplify the map by looking at it in this linear fashion. So here we go. This adorable little guy is you, and this is the thing of nightmares. Question is, how do we stop this from doing this? The answer lies within the heart of a small child. This one. You know, I think I just don't feel anymore. Balloon Boy sounds are played over the loudspeaker by pressing the play audio button, and if Springtrap hears this, he'll run to that room. Keep in mind though that despite having these big ass ears, he can only hear one room away, so you can only drive him back one room at a time. Therefore, keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eye on the ball, keep your eye on this creepy motherfucker. Your job is to always know where this dude is, and use audio to reverse his advancement until that coveted 6 a.m. But what about the vents on the other map? Surely there's something with the vents? Vents are there to add an extra variable of danger to the equation by providing Springtrap with shortcuts to get to you faster. See? Dirty cheater! Fortunately, no matter where he enters, you can hear movement in the vents and know that he's fiddling around up there. If that happens, you have to immediately find him and close down his route, forcing him back to where he was, because letting him through is practically a game over. Interesting trick, there seems to be no setback to just closing a vent because, so if you think it'll help, you can preemptively seal off one of these giant shortcuts. So then what's this thing over here? It looks so complicated. You really just worry about everything, don't you? On the other side of your camera is the system restart menu. Think of this as this game's music box, which isn't hard because it's just as much of a pain in the ass. Oftentimes during the night, you might lose the ability to play audio, lose the camera feed, or have shit start going down like the Soviets just launched a nuke. Basically, when they built the place to keep authenticity or something, they used the same technology of the original pizzerias 30 years ago. So the systems are kind of prone to crashing. Guess they're running Windows Vista. The system reboot is your way to get these 3 crucial things back online at the cost of not watching the cameras for a few seconds, and it's incredibly important to have all of these things operational at all times. Audio is the only way to keep back Springtrap, video allows you to keep an eye on the robot, and down ventilation gives Springtrap an easier job of killing you. When something goes down, getting it back is priority 1. So, that's how you tackle Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Actually, there is one more thing. As the nights go on, you may see some familiar faces show up on the camera or from across the room. This might haunt my dreams for a fucking century. What you need to remember is that Springtrap is the only animatronic in this game. Anything else you see is just a hallucination. But of course, this doesn't mean that they're not deadly. If you get a jump scare from an old friend, the ventilation systems immediately crash and you need to waste time getting them rebooted. If you want to avoid this, simply treat the hallucinations like they're the sun. No matter how much you want to, don't stare directly at it for any amount of time, or you will go blind from death. And now that's all the things that you need for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. But here are the top 5 things to know. Number 1, Springtrap is literally the only way to game over, so always knowing where he's standing is very important. Before, the cameras didn't matter so much, but now, monitoring him means everything. Number 2, use your audio to keep Springtrap backing away from you, but remember, it only works 1 camera away, and using it on the same camera that he's on causes him only to advance, so be mindful where and when you make sound. Number 3, if you forget about the vents, you're gonna get killed. You should be watching Springtrap anyway, but if you hear vent movement while you're rebooting something, rush to find him and get that vent sealed. Number 4, besides dealing with vent stuff, rebooting your systems is super essential and probably should be priority 1. Dealing with Springtrap is nearly impossible if any system is down. Finally, number 5, hallucinations are more rampant as the game goes on, but just remember that they're only distractions and should completely be ignored. Just keep repeating, there's only one animatronic, there's only one animatronic, there's only one animatronic. So that's how you play Five Nights at Freddy's 3. And now it's time to say goodbye to a series. Well, for me, I mean, you guys just learned how to play it, so why don't you go kick its ass? But I want to take this time to give a special shout out and a thanks a lot to Scott Cawthon, creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, for making such an incredible series. I mean, these games kept me entertained, they kept me terrified, they kept me guessing, and they kept me making more videos than I think I would have otherwise. So, again, thanks to Scott, and especially thanks to all of you guys for watching. See you next time. Hey everybody, if you enjoyed this video, then why don't you give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to see more Five Nights at Freddy's how to plays, or just more how to plays in general, then click this button right here and it'll send you to the playlist. And if you want to see more how to plays and other videos as soon as they come out, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? That would be really awesome actually. And if you want to know how to play a certain game, comment it down in the comments below and I just might make a video about it. Okay, I haven't done that yet, but I have one I'm working on. When Five Nights at Freddy's 3 came out, everything else got shelved. There's one that's coming up real soon. Seriously, it's coming out. I'll see you guys all then.